Anime. We all love it, right? Low-key some of the low-key some of the greatest fiction ever made. It gave us some of the craziest fight in his it gave us some of the craziest fight in history. Naruto versus Sasuke, Rock Lee versus Sasuke, Yuji versus Mahito, Goku versus Vegeta. Like bro, I like bro, don't get me like bro, don't get me like bro, don't get me even started. But today we're not talking about fades. Today we're gonna talk about how. Today we're gonna talk about how I. Today we're gonna talk about how I think I would survive in. Today we're gonna talk about how I would survive in these anime worlds. And let's be real, some of these and let's be real, some of these world is straight up hell on earth. Let's be real, and let's be and let's be real, some of these worlds would be and let's be real, some of these world would be straight up hell on earth. And let's be real, some of these earth would be straight up hell on earth. On earth. And let's be real, some of these world would be straight up hell on earth. Some of these universe would actually make me cry, bro. So in this video, I'm gonna rate how well I would survive in different anime worlds. The rules are simple. If I was born in this world, I have an average knowledge and average abilities. I basically have the same mentality. I basically have the same mentality. I basically have the same mentality I have right now. And I'll rate it out of 10 how likely I would be, and I'll rate out of 10 how likely I would be good at it. Number 1, Pokemon. I think because the I think because the way that Pokemon was made. I think because the way that Pokemon I think because the way that Pokemon are depictive and I think because the way that Pokemon are so loved in the world, I think it's pretty normal for me to become a trainer in this world, and I will become an average player, and I think I would become I think I would become a slightly above average trainer. Why? Because I'm a dumbass. Why? Because I'm a dumbass, bro. I'm not really good at strategy. I'm not really good at strategy games. But I do know I would train. But I do know the way that the world. I don't. But I do know the way the world would be. But I do know the way. But I do know the way the world is. I would train really hard. But but what? But would I be elite though? Hell no. I would probably be that. I would probably. I would probably be that one guy you were talking about and say that. Yeah, I know him, but he's mid. Number two, Haikyuu. Now, now this well, now this universe might be good for me. I played volleyball for 1 year, and I was pretty solid at it. I would probably be good at. So if you're telling me I have a few other years to practice and become better, I think I would be even better. My blocking would be pretty decent. My reaction time in sport is actually really good. But there's a huge but 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 there's a huge problem. I am standing at a respectable I am standing at a respectable 5'9". Now listen, 5'9" is not super short, but in volleyball it's pretty. Now listen, 5'9" is not super short, but in volleyball you're basically a midget. Everybody is damn near 6 foot. Everybody is 6 foot and above. These dudes are these dudes are giants. And I'm not gonna be this genetic freak of a. I'm not gonna be a genetic freak like Hinata. I'm gonna be athletic. I'm. I'm not gonna be this genetic freak like Hinata. I'm gonna be athletic, athletic, athletic. So yeah, I would be good. I've, I would be good. I would be good. A very solid player in the team. But a star? Hell no. I think I would specialize in defense. So I think in this world I would be above average. I'll give myself an 8 out of 10. Honestly, this might be the best anime. Honestly this might be the best anime world for me. Three, Blue Lock. Yeah, I'm cook. In Haikyuu, the competition is tough, but Blue Lock, bro, this is basically a prison for the best soccer players in Japan. You're basically stuck with you're basically stuck with 1%. You're basically stuck with 1% talented. You're basically stuck with 1% talents. What am I gonna do with a Ronaldo? What am I gonna do against a Ronaldinho, an Mbappe, and a Ronaldo? I will get washed instantly. My skill level would probably be my my skill level will probably be worse than Isagi. My skill level will probably be my skill level will probably be my skill level my skill level would probably be my skill level would be worse than Isagi, bro. I think my only good point would probably be I think my only good point would probably be stamina. But that's it. I'm trash at finishing. I'm trash at passing. I'm decent at defending. I would probably be eliminated in the second round. And listen, I'm not saying I would be the worst player. It's just I'm competing with a bunch of it's just I'm competing with a bunch of monsters, bro. Yeah, I got zero chance. Four out of In terms of survival, I would be good, 10 out of 10. But in terms of the plot, I would be a 4 out of 10. Number 4, Death Note. Now, Death Note is a scary world for criminals. I ain't no criminal, so I would survive. Okay, let me make it more interesting. Let's just say if I'm a detective, Let's just say if I'm in the detective party with L, I think I would figure out that L is Kira around when. I think I would figure out L is Kira. No, I think I would forget. I think I would figure out that Light is Kira around when L dies. And to be honest, I don't know how anybody would. And I think everybody should. And I think everybody should notice that L. And I think everybody should notice that Light. And I think everybody should notice that Light is Kira at this point. Cause bro, why are you telling me that the second that L. Bro, why are you telling me that the second that. Why are you telling me that the second that Light is proven innocent, L dies? I would be giving Light one of the dirtiest side eyes ever. So do I think I would survive? So do I think I would survive easily? Yeah. To be honest, yeah. 7 out of 10. Number 5, My Hero Academia. 80% of their 80% of the population has powers. So I would most likely have powers in this world. I'm pretty sure I would become a hero. The best one? Hell no. I think I would be similar to Kirishima. I think I would be a worse version of Kirishima. Good, good, decent at fighting, not the strongest, just forgettable all around. I wouldn't even be close to the number one hero. I would probably be either a sidekick to a good hero or just a freaking, I don't know, bro. Like Green Lantern. I don't know, nigga. Listen, I'm not as smart. I'm not as smart as Izuku, and I'm not as smart as Izuku, and I wouldn't be a battle. And my battle IQ wouldn't be as good as Bakugo. I would probably be decent. I would probably be decent and the background character. So basically, I think my role in this world would be saving people, and that's about it. I'll give myself a 6 out of 10. 6, JJK. Yeah, I'm doing nothing in this world. I'm probably dying in the Shibuya in this. I'm probably dying in the Shibuya I'm probably dying in the Shibuya incident arc. I'm probably dying in the Shibuya arc. Best case scenario, I'll probably be someone like Nanami in my prime, or be even worse than that. I think I'll just be an average sorcerer, a jack of all trades. But let's be real. I'm not getting a domain expansion. Having a domain expansion is already Having a domain expansion is showing that you're a very special sorcerer. Most of the time when I see a curse, I'm probably running away. I'm only fighting fights I know I can win. And to be honest, I think I would really hate. And to be honest, I think I would be a real. I think I would be a real. And to be honest, I think I would be a real hater in this world. Why? Because everybody glazed Gojo. Nobody can get his dick out of his. Like, bro, get his dick out of. Like, bro, get his. Like, bro, get his dick out of your mouth, bro. I could deadass. I can deadass develop one of the best technique, but it doesn't matter because can it beat Gojo? No. What do you mean? What do you mean it can beat everybody except Gojo? My survival rate would be 4 out of 10. 7, Demon Slayer. I would hate this world. Not only this world is boring as hell, but you can sleep and then wake up to your family being eaten. I do not want to get eaten, bro. And being a demon slayer would be even and being a demon slayer would be even worse, bro. I am not trying to live that type of life, bro. Here's the thing. Tanjiro is a 1%. Tanjiro is a 1% talent. Most of the time when you're a demon slayer, you die. You're not. Nobody is living past the first exam, bro. But let's just say I survived it all. I'm not getting past the final arc. People get annoyed. People get annoyed at Zenitsu, but let's be honest. Everybody is reacting like Zenitsu, bro. And that man is talented. So imagine if you see a role player like me, I'm dead. So yeah, 3 out of 10. Attack on Titan. Yeah, basically the same concept. Attack on Titan. Basically the same thing as Demon Slayer, but on steroids. I think I have two scenarios. I think I have two scenarios. When I'm born in the walls and born outside of the walls. If I'm born outside of the walls, I would probably die at the rumbling. And if I'm born in the walls, I would instantly die in the first mission. Why? Because it doesn't matter how good you are. You can be a top 5. You could be a top 5 in your classes. That's it. You could be a top 5. You can graduate as a top 5 in your classes. That sounds impressive, right? Wrong. Eren was a top 5. Eren was a top 5 in his classes, and he still got washed. If it wasn't for his plot armor, he would already be dead. Your talents barely matters in this world because one mistake is a giant mistake. You would be dead. You would be dead in seconds. Now, I think I would be able to handle a normal Titan. I think I would be able to handle a normal Titan. I think I would be able to handle a normal Titan. But I'm normal Titan. Yeah, just cough. But I'm normal Titan. Yeah, pack it up, bro. These Titans are moving like World War Z zombies, bro. They be doing backflips and shit. They be doing backflips. They be doing backflips and shit and sprinting. Like I'm not trying to fight that. Shifting Titans. Do I need even shifting Titans? Do I even need to explain myself? A zombie with a conscience. I'm not trying to fight that, bro. Yeah, I think I would die in my first mission. 2 out of 10. Dragon Ball. Now you would think that Dragon Ball is a pretty safe world. Wrong. There are dogs, monsters, alien, demons. And from time to time you're gonna get packed up by a bunch of androids, a bug monster, or a space alien. Now let's just say I'm not average, and I'm lucky enough to develop, and I'm lucky enough to be born as a Saiyan. If I was born as a Saiyan, I think I would be an average Saiyan. I think my full potential would probably be around Super Saiyan 3. Not the strongest, but useful, like a role player. So overall in Dragon Ball, I think I would get packed up, but it really depends on what era I would be born, so I will give it a 5 out of 10. Number 10, Berserk. Yeah, nobody is surviving Berserk. The Berserk world is hell on earth. People think that Guts has the worst life, but honestly, at least that nigga can fight. At least that nigga is 6'8". At least he's super strong. You're not gonna be strong. You're gonna be an average guy. disease, war, crazy humans, demons. And I would cry if I was born as a woman in the Berserk world. If you read Berserk, you know what I'm talking about, gang. Do you think Jeffrey Epstein is the big villain in this world? Well, that's basically a weekend in the Berserk world. The Berserk world is brutal. Nobody is safe. Most people are victims, and the people on the top are basically weirdos. So if anybody tells you that he can survive in the Berserk world, there are liars, bro. You're not surviving the Berserk world. There's no chances. Not even a speck of chance. This is a 0%. This might be the worst world in fiction, and this might be the one of the worst worlds in fiction. Periods. You're not surviving the Berserk world. 0 out of 10. Anyways, that makes my ranking. If you could live in an anime world, which one would you pick? And which world would you absolutely never enter? Let me know, and thank you for watching.